I know this is a more different styled video than the usual content that I produce, but I thought the subject was interesting and I wanted to take a close look at it. If you want to see more of these types of videos, comment down below and comment what subjects I should topple. Now, on to the video. You all remember those Mike Bloomberg ads? You know, the ones on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and even during the televised presidential debates. I remember them too. And as the 2020 primary season comes to a close, I wanted to look back and examine the failed presidential bid of Mike Bloomberg, who was loved by the Democratic establishment, but not so loved by the Democratic voter. Bloomberg's campaign failed, and it failed hard. But before we begin on his presidential campaign, we need to look back and examine how he came to where he is today. Mike Bloomberg was born on Valentine's Day, 1942, which will become very ironic very soon, trust me. He was born to the middle class, but at the age of 39, created a company that would become a multimedia empire. Bloomberg is currently worth over $60 billion, which is a whole lot of money. Bloomberg got into politics at the turn of the century when he ran for the office of mayor in New York City in 2001. He easily won the election and proceeded to have 3 consecutive terms as mayor, as we all do, leaving office in 2013. Bloomberg is credited with rebuilding New York City after the 9/11 attacks and getting New Yorkers to eat more healthy. What is important to note, however, is that Bloomberg ran as a Republican all 3 times and even donated to George Bush's re-election campaign in 2004 and also spoke at the Republican National Convention in 2004. However, after he left office, Bloomberg became a Democrat after previously registering as an independent. Bloomberg wanted to run for president in 2016 but stepped aside to support Hillary Clinton so as to not break apart the moderate vote. This will also become very ironic very soon. Bloomberg has met with many controversial people, ranging from President Donald Trump to convicted felons Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein. Originally, Bloomberg said he was definitely not running in 2020. However, this changed in mid-November when the Democratic frontrunner, Joe Biden, saw a dip in the poll numbers. Bloomberg officially started his campaign on November 24th, 2019, and said that he would not be taking donations and that he would be a self-funded campaign. This meant that he was unable to qualify for the Democratic debates as candidates needed a certain amount of donors. This would change, however, when the race tightened. Bloomberg made a decision that ultimately hurt him in the long run when he decided he would not be participating in early contests in Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, and South Carolina, and that he would put all of his money on Super Tuesday states. At the start of the new year, Bloomberg's RCP average was at a 4.9%, while Joe Biden, his rival, was at a solid 29.4%. Bloomberg spent his endless fortune on buying TV ads and online ads for his campaign. His slogan, "Mike will get it done," was all across his ads. They touted his experience, the fact that he helped rebuild New York City after the 9/11 attacks, and his policy on gun control and healthcare. There was also this ad, which is my personal favorite.
Here's my ice cream. Ah, thank you. Big gay ice cream is the best.
President Trump dubbed Bloomberg Mini Mike, attacking his height, once Bloomberg was a threat to Trump in the polls. The first 3 contests rolled around, and Pete Buttigieg won Iowa, Bernie Sanders won New Hampshire and Nevada. These primary results boosted Sanders, and he became the frontrunner for the Democratic nomination. Joe Biden took a huge dip in the polls, and Bloomberg shot up to 3rd place, nearly tying with Biden in the polls. At this point, the DNC eliminated its rule about donors, and Bloomberg was allowed to participate in the debates before the Nevada caucus and the one before the South Carolina primary. Bloomberg's first debate performance was an absolute train wreck. He was attacked by nearly every candidate, but not as brutal as Elizabeth Warren's opening line to the former mayor.
I'd like to talk about who we're running against. A billionaire who calls women fat broads and horse-faced lesbians. And no, I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about Mayor Bloomberg. Democrats are not going to win if we have a nominee who has a history of hiding his tax returns, of harassing women, and of supporting racist policies like redlining and stop and frisk.
That Bloomberg has had harassment complaints from 60 different women. Truly a great guy. Bloomberg was criticized for his stop and frisk policy when he was mayor of New York City, which disproportionately affected African Americans. Bloomberg attacked Sanders on his values and questioned his socialist claims as Sanders owns multiple houses and is a millionaire. I personally think it's a low blow, but you guys can decide in the comments. Biden and Warren attacked Bloomberg for not releasing the records of the women that complained about him, and Bloomberg saw a dip in the polls after the debate. The South Carolina primary rolled around and Joe Biden completely destroyed everyone, as most of his support was predominantly African American. After the results were posted, Biden's poll numbers went up, and he became the Democratic frontrunner again. And Bloomberg's poll numbers dipped because Biden and Bloomberg shared the same moderate support. Then Super Tuesday rolled around, the big day, the day that Bloomberg spent all his money on. And well, let's just say the outcome wasn't what he hoped for. Bloomberg won alright, but he only won in the American Samoa, which gave him a grand total of 4 delegates, as Representative Tulsi Gabbard won the other 2 delegates. Bloomberg didn't win in any other primaries, but he did scoop up some delegates in other states, as he won 15% or more in not just car insurance, but in primaries in other states. But as most people know who follow politics, Joe Biden dominated on Super Tuesday, winning a majority of the states and the delegates he needed to stay in the race. The day after Super Tuesday, Michael Bloomberg officially dropped out of the race and formally endorsed Joe Biden. Mike Bloomberg spent nearly $1 billion on his presidential bid. This money went towards ads, offices, and paying celebrities to help him with his campaign. It also went towards the controversial moment when 2 of his ads aired during one of the 2 presidential debates he participated in. Obviously, Mike didn't get it done, but I think it is a good thing that he ran, because it shows no matter how much money you have, you cannot buy a presidential election, and that the people decide the outcome. Thank you all who took the time out of your day to watch this video. If you like this style of video, comment down below and give some suggestions on other people you'd like me to look at. With that said, I'll see you on the flip side.
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook.
Motherfucking boss.